What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Build Your Own House project. We're back out on site today, and you'll see from the outside real quick that we've got a bit of a difference. We've got some garage doors in, the rest of the porch has been framed, and the roof has been dried in. Now, one thing you probably saw real quick was some blue tape on the door. An oopsie daisy happened. When they were putting the doors in, they accidentally dropped this panel, so it's she's a little mangled. Not a big deal. Right after he dropped it, he called back to the office and had them order another panel. They're a great contractor of ours. They will, quite naturally, they cover the cost of the panel. Should be here in a week or two, and it does not hold us up with anything. Another update on the outside of the house. We have a meter box with a nice green tag. That means we were able to get a hold of the utility company, send them a copy of our green tag, and they will be out to trench power from that box, coming through to there. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks we'll have power. Other thing that is installed is big door behind me, going in to the garage. And we walk right into a ladder. 8-foot door coming into the side of the garage is a little ridiculous, but I thought it would have looked strange with everything else being 8 foot and that being a short guy. So on the other side of our meter socket is our electrical panel, which is set, and we've got one outlet ready to go. And then the ground wire runs back to the oofer rod. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about with the oofer rod, back when we did the foundation, we showed you guys that there's a piece of rebar that goes down through the wall, ties into the footing rebar, and then goes down into the ground. That is what your ground wire hooks to for that. So this week we started on plumbing rough-ins. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick walkthrough, show you what we've got going on so far with plumbing, and give you guys a couple of ideas that you might want to think about. One or two of them you might want to think about before you get to the plumbing stage. Well, you should absolutely think about it before the plumbing stage. And another one that you can think about now as you're walking around. So we'll start with that, and that is your gas line. So we have a stub out here that's going to go out the wall. That'll hook to our gas meter, and then all the gas for the house will come in through there, go into the basement, and branch out. So highly recommend you guys, I mean, unless you're in like the southern states and you don't need heat in your garage, highly recommend adding a stub out in the garage for a future heater. Even if you're not going to put it in while you're doing the build, put in the stub out now. So much easier, so much cheaper just to go ahead and do that when you're at this phase. So most of our punch list is done with framing, as you would hope, but there's a couple things that need to get wrapped up still. You guys had seen before where that beam pops through the other side of the wall. It's partially cut down. The rest needs to be cut down a little bit. There's a few pieces of zip tape on the outside of the house that need to be done. And then one thing got caught today that we missed during our walkthrough was we had our cabinet guy out today, and he was taking some measurements. And I'm gonna pop out my tape real quick. So as you guys know, we have cabinets that go on this wall, then we've got our stoves there and the cabinets there and cabinets around there. Well, having cabinets on this wall means that they're gonna stick out 2 feet plus the little bit of countertop that's gonna stick over, and you'll see that we have 22 inches from the wall to the edge of the opening for that pocket door. So it turns out that pocket door is actually in the wrong place by 3.5, 4 inches. So if we just furred that out and we didn't move this, when the door is open all the way, it's not going to look centered in the opening, right? Your reveal is not going to be the same because it's not finishing the stroke coming out of the wall. And unfortunately, that's a double LVL. So they're gonna have to support the floor joists, cut that stud out. I'm gonna shift this whole thing over, reframe there, shift this that way, right? And this is one of the reasons we have our cabinet guy come in like right now at this phase and measure everything. Number one is so he knows what he's ordering is actually gonna fit the house, and he can catch if we made any changes during framing that weren't on the prints. But he might also catch a little nuance that we missed, which obviously we did, right? And we've had a couple people in the house looking over things with us, and We've mentioned it before, it's always better having an extra set of eyes. There's nothing really crazy to show you down here, right? There's just plumbing running, there's water lines there, there's vent tubes there, there's more vents here. But the important thing I want to show you guys is going to be upstairs. So let's hop up and go take a look at that. So as we come up, there's actually one thing that we are going to change up here, and this is nothing the framers did. It's just something that probably should have caught in design. Where these vertical supports come down that carry the load from the ridge beam, they land on these 2x6s, and I can already see a very small baby deflection on these. So what I'm gonna come in tomorrow and do is everywhere that there's a vertical support coming down, instead of using 2x6s, I'm going to put double 2x12s, sandwich them together, land them on there, and then carry them down to the header. And this will be double joist hangered into there, which carries through to these points. We're gonna do that same thing down the row. It's built to print. That's what it called for. I'm just trying to alleviate any possible future issues. I'd hate to have them sag even a tiny bit. Once drywall's done and the roof loads on and you get snow up there, you run the risk of getting a little crack, or you could see a little tiny belly in the drywall. I'd rather spend a few hours and a couple $100 on materials and just go overkill, right? Doesn't hurt anything. Only good comes from it. She's hiding. I swear, every time we shoot a video, it's like hide and go seek. You know what? We're running out of time to run through the walls like that. So when talking about making decisions ahead of time, the other thing I was really referencing is your bathrooms, specifically your master shower layout. And not necessarily like where in the room it is, right? Because you've already had to figure that out for framing, but what kind of controls do you want? What kind of shower heads do you want? Where do you want these things to be? Do you just want a single shower head on the wall? Do you want a shower head and a handheld? Do you want a handheld, a shower, and a rain head? Do you want a rain head and a handheld, right? You could do all sorts of combos. Do you want 2 rain heads and a wall? So you gotta know those things before your plumbers start so you can tell them what you want and where exactly you want it. So one thing we didn't catch until we were doing our walkthrough for punch list for framing was on the drawing, the shower head was originally right there in that cavity, right next to the door. Seems odd, but there's actually a good reason for it, because that's an exterior wall, that's an exterior wall, and we are in a zone that freezes. So typically your plumbers will not run water lines in exterior walls because there's a risk of freezing. So even with that, I didn't like the idea of the shower head, sitting in that corner. I really wanted a shower head on this wall, and I really wanted a rain shower. So we came up with an idea. We're gonna run the shower head in this bay, and you'll see that now there is an extra 2x4 wall framed along with the 2x6 wall. So the cavity that they're gonna run the plumbing lines in, we're gonna spray closed cell spray foam that whole thing. So you're gonna have no air leakage in that cavity at all, right? Air leakage is the big thing that causes frozen pipes, and it's gonna be ridiculous R value. I forget the math on if it's like, I think maybe R6 per inch of closed cell spray foam. So if we had 5.5, we have 8, we have 9 inches, and R6 with R54 or something like that. I hope my math was right there. So no chance of that freezing with having the double wall like that. So we had to make a quick design change to go along with doing that. We're going to run, we're going to continue this wall up right here and carry it to the ceiling. And it's going to be, I think we're going to make it 9 inches. So you won't see this bump out. It's just going to look like it's part of the wall. It's going to disappear. And then we're going to take that same 9 inches, carry it from the outside of the wall here, 9 inches in, and then it's going to be perfectly symmetrical. You'll have a 9-inch reveal here, 9-inch reveal there, and a big glass pane in the middle. And boom, problem solved, plumbing issue solved. I get the fixtures I want, where I want, and I have a little cheat code for you guys. So pretty much my entire life I've lived in houses where if your shower head was there, your control valve was there. What happens in that scenario is you get hit with cold water, no matter what. You turn it on real quick and jump out to get it set, you get hit. So what we started doing a while ago was if we're gonna have a shower head back there, we are putting our mixer valve and our diverter valves right here. We can come through, we can open our glass door, and we can turn our mixer valve on and choose which head we want with not even a drop of water getting us. It is a non-negotiable for us. We're doing that in every single house we build, no matter what, because nobody likes getting blasted with cold water. It's a little bit harder in some conventional bathrooms where you have like a drop-in tub in a alcove. A lot of times there's nowhere to put that valve where you're not gonna get hit with water. It's just, you know, nature of the beast. And as we're coming through here, you guys will see we've got a drain in the floor here. This is our laundry room. This whole floor will get waterproofed because it will be tile. And this way, if you ever lose a washing machine or you have a failure, you have a waterproof floor and you have a drain that all the water goes into. You don't have to worry about ceiling damage below, and you don't have to worry about having one of those really ugly, unsightly pans that sit underneath your washing machine. Those things look hideous. It's just better. Plan for a waterproofing system, put a drain in, tile it, be done, make it look aesthetic. That's kind of another little tip for you, a little trick to call it. And then, I mean, it's just plumbing's kind of unfortunately boring. It's not flashy, it's not exciting, but you know, we've got our Jack and Jill bath here with double vanities. So quite naturally, we have our drains and our feed lines, our vents going up, right? Every drain needs to have a vent going up so they drain properly and you don't get water lock. And then we've got drop-in tub here. This is gonna be tile surround on all three sides. Instead of doing like a full fiberglass drop-in, we decided we're gonna do tile surrounds on both spare bathrooms. Stub out for the toilet. And then again, we have exterior wall, so our plumbing will be in that side there. And you guys will see we got this little paper stuff. You know what? Why is there paper stuff there? Well, it's a barrier, but it's also a place to drop our insulation down into so we can do blow-in and it won't come out and fall underneath the tub. So rather than keep boring you guys with every single plumbing drop or plumbing hookup that we have, I think we'll call that good for this week's update as we walk by another bathroom here. And you'll see, since this is an interior wall, no problem. We have plumbing lines, but same thing. We have the backer over there to drop our insulation down in. And I don't know if I have enough light in the basement to show you guys what we got going down there. But let's try. Let's take a quick look and see. In this, by the way, I love this huge window coming down the landing into the basement. It's just so much natural light down there. Yep, we're kind of dungeony right now. So I'll wait until we have some better light down there and give you guys the tour there. We appreciate you tuning into the series. Hopefully you guys are finding some value in it. If you have any questions, drop them down below. Do us a huge favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe. We'll see you on the next episode. We found her. She's hiding. I thought I had her on camera running through the walls. I was running through the walls. Told you guys about how we're about to lose the ability to run through the walls because of plumbing and all the electrical going in, and found her and realized that when I changed the battery in the camera, turned it back on, my brilliant self didn't hit the record button. So here we are. She hid from us the whole rest of the video and she's hiding in the corner in the garage. Ridiculous.